The place where we left off in our last class was the discussion of the thermos flask. So this thermos flask, it's one of those instruments, it's kind of an appliance which has the ability to keep hot objects or hot liquids hot and cold liquids cooled for a duration of time which is longer as compared to other conventional appliances or flasks. So it's known to us that heat loss, by now we know this, that heat loss broadly will take place via these three methods: the methods of conduction, convection, and yes, radiation. So in order for any instrument or any appliance like the thermos flask to prevent such heat loss, it has to prevent the heat loss that happens to all these three methods. This thermos flask was first devised, it was first invented by this scientist by the name of Sir James Dewar, and therefore the thermos flask is or can also be called as the Dewar vessel. So in this thermos flask, as we can also see in the figure here, there's a double-walled glass vessel. It's also sometimes made up of any kind of metal. So there is this double-walled glass vessel or metal vessel. The region between this inner and outer wall, that is this region, that's vacuum, that's evacuated. The walls, these walls of the vessel, they are silvered. Silvered means basically these surfaces are made very shiny. They are made very polished. And the entire vessel is put in a plastic case, that is this case. It's put in a plastic case or a metallic case, and it is separated from this case is separated from this inner vessel by some sort of cork. And the mouth of the vessel, once we have poured the liquid inside, suppose we have poured some hot coffee which we want to stay hot, the mouth is sealed by this stopper. How does this system work? How does it prevent the heat loss? Well, the vacuum that is present here, the vacuum which is present between the two walls, the inner and the outer wall of this double-walled vessel, that reduces heat loss by the methods of conduction and convection, because we know that for conduction and convection to take place, a medium is necessary. Radiation can occur through vacuum, but conduction and convection cannot take place through vacuum. So the liquid which is inside, it cannot lose heat to the surroundings by the methods of conduction and convection. That is prevented by the vacuum. Similarly, the silvered surfaces, as we saw here, that these double walls of the vessel, they are shiny or polished, they are silvered. The function of the silvered surfaces, that silvered or polished surfaces, they reduce heat loss by radiation. As we saw in the last class, that this kind of surfaces, that is surfaces which are shiny or polished, they are poor absorbers of radiant energy. And because they are poor absorbers of radiant energy, whatever heat that is present in this content inside the container, that does not get lost by the method of radiation as well. Obviously there are certain amounts of losses, but the amounts are so negligible that the thing can remain hot for a considerable duration of time. And also, if the air which is present in this part of the thermos flask, that gets heated from the content, and that heated air would have escaped outside, along with that making the content cold. But the stopper that is present here, that seals the upper part as well, so the heat cannot escape from there also. So the heat loss by all the methods, the conduction, convection and radiation, are effectively prevented. And in our last class, when we were talking about these radiators, we missed out on discussing about an experiment. So there is this experiment which shows that black bodies are better absorbers of heat. So we take two kind of cans, maybe say tin cans, The tin cans are identical in all aspects. They have exactly the same quantity of water inside them. Same amount thermometer is put in each of them, but the only difference is that one of them is painted white in color and the other one is painted black in color. And then they are kept out under sun for a duration, say 2 hours, and after that how much the temperature has increased in the thermometers, that is being measured. And it is found that for the black, the increase in temperature is greater for which one? It's greater for the black body than what occurs in the white body. So the temperature increases in the black body by an amount which is greater than that which is the water present in the white body. So this clearly demonstrates that the black body is a good absorber of the radiant heat. In this case, the source of the radiant heat is the sun. And while we were studying the convection currents, we also studied about this ocean currents, which we briefly talked about. And here there's a picture which you can see of the ocean currents, the major ocean currents. You will probably study this in geography in your higher classes. These are the various ocean currents, and in the major oceans bordering the various continents, they have got their own names, and these are very much essential, as I said during that last class, not just for survival of the fishes or aquatic species, but also various coastal species and we human beings. They also play an important role in regulating the seasons and the temperature and weather in various places.